Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's 6:45 a.m., April 14th. In today's video, I'd like to open with a quote that I told our community yesterday. The world breaks everyone, and afterwards, many are strong at the broken places, by Ernest Hemingway. All right. The reason I mentioned this quote is because oftentimes in life, and especially in the markets, you almost feel like you just can't get a break and you keep either losing money, making bad trades, you just feel worthless. Okay. Um, I think Peter Brandt recently said it best that the market essentially is a place where you can feel inadequate. Okay. It effectively makes everyone feel inadequate at any given time. All right. So, fact of the matter is, a lot of people will lose trades. A lot of people will lose money. But the point is, if you really want to continue playing this game of how to actually trade and invest for the long term, number one, you got to treat this like a marathon versus a sprint. And what I mean by that is you got to think of it as a long term game of understanding how to make money consistently and profitably over time rather than thinking that you need to get rich overnight. So think of it as a wealth building process rather than a get rich overnight scheme. Okay. Now, with that same thought process, all right, the one thing that we do in our community is we provide a ton of analysis and a ton of education. If you look at our analysis right here, all right, we provide tons and tons of analysis. And along with that, of course, we have a ton of trades too. Okay. A lot of our trades are going to be right, and a lot of our trades are going to be wrong. It's just what it is. Some of the best traders I know, like I've said yesterday, are the people who have about 45 to 50% strike rate, meaning that they only get 45 to 50% of their trades right. All right. If that's the case, think about these people who make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars just based on the 45 to 50% strike rate versus people who think that they have to get every trade right and effectively lose all their money. Okay. So the point is, in this game, in this skill, you have to manage your risk. Okay. You need to know when to cut your losers. You need to know when to let your winners run. You need to know when to also just sit out of the market, right? Even yesterday's example, I told you guys that a couple days ago, I think we had a short trade that we were in around this particular area right here before it spiked up all the way here. And based on our technicals, we weren't seeing the kind of momentum that we wanted to see. And I could show you guys exactly in live, in real time, what we were going through. Basically, I think this was the break of the upside movement. Or I'm sorry, I guess it was this one, the break of the upside movement. And we were shorting from over here. Okay, so we held for a good day and a half, 2 days. And then over here, when we smashed through this level right here, this is a key resistance level right there. And this was the time where we said, all right, well, it looks like the momentum is shifting. It's best we get out. So we avoided all of this, okay? Not only did we avoid this in terms of our short bleeding, but we actually didn't even go long because this wasn't part of our process. We weren't even looking for something like this because, again, we had no idea if it was just going to go up and then come down, right? So instead, we avoided a bigger loss in a short. So we cut our short trade right here, as you can see, entered at 68.95, exited at 69.24. Just a $30 move, right? And then what happened? We missed that move, but we said, hey, we're going to wait in this particular area and see if we can get some shorts right there because it's the 2020 yearly open. Okay. Remember, this is why technicals are important. You have to understand why price gravitates towards particular levels. Right. So all we did was we wait in this area right here for the 2020 yearly open price to gravitate towards there. Got our orders filled, and now we're sitting in $300 plus of profit. All right. So you could see, missed a $30 move right there by cutting it at a loss, missed the move up for a long, but then got in a short at a perfect area, which was effectively the top, and now we're up $300. All right. So again, being able to avoid your losers, knowing when to cut them because you're seeing a lack of momentum, understanding technicals and where price could gravitate to, these are all important aspects of trading. Okay. Now, aside from Bitcoin analysis, that we do for our Advantage members. Again, all the lock channels that you see are all for Advantage members, okay? Everything that you see, even the equities, the Forex, the oil, the options, all this stuff and all the crypto channels right there. Okay, it is all for Advantage members. All right. On top of that, what we started recently is we started writing articles on Medium as well, and I'm going to try to do more articles and more stuff on the stock market as well as crypto. And so you'll get to see them here. Okay. And on top of that, we started revising more information on the TradingView platform as well. So aside from YouTube videos, we're starting to diversify on Medium and TradingView. All right. The fact of the matter is, I think our community is doing exceptionally well. Our analysts, such as myself and Faisal, are very well respected in terms of how we manage risk. Our members have clearly shown us that they trust us in terms of our information, education, as well as the trade setups that we provide. Okay, you can see all these gains reviews right here by people who've been with us for months. Some have, been with us for over a year or two. Okay, and I've been doing this for a while. I mean, if you guys are watching this Cryptosomniac video on YouTube, we've been around for a while. Okay, so point is, come join, come experience what kind of community we have. And again, like I said before, we're going to start raising our prices starting May 5th. So if you do get in now, you will be grandfathered in at the current rate of $97 per month. Okay. So again, we're going to raise our prices to the new membership fee of $125 versus the current $97 per month. All right. So let's get to the analysis. Okay. All right. Let's pull up this chart right here on an hourly time frame. Like I said yesterday, I would have really preferred price to stay under this marker right here, 67.50. But at best, I wanted to stay below this marker, 68.50. Okay, so either way, we're kind of just chopping around. I haven't seen definitive breaks to the upside, and I haven't seen definitive breaks to the downside. So the fact that we're over here, I'm not too comfortable with, but it is what it is, because you could see the S&P 500 E-mini futures right here. They moved up overnight. Okay. So the fact that they moved up overnight obviously, brought Bitcoin where it is right now, which is that 68.50 area. But here's the interesting thing. S&P 500 came back towards its local high right there. Bitcoin did not. Okay. So what this kind of tells me is that I think Bitcoin might be ready for its next leg down. S&P 500 might be a little bit late to that. Might be late to the party, but I personally believe that Bitcoin might be ready for that next move down for many of the reasons I've stated before. Number one, this movement right here, obviously with this descending trend line, we pretty much held that intact with this lower high, excuse me. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we also broke out of this channel that we've been in, for 3 weeks right here, and then finally broke out of it. So those are a couple of reasons. And then on top of that, this movement right here, okay, this consolidation, drop, push up, and then another drop, and then another push up. I think that's analogous to what we're seeing over here in the middle of February, which was consolidation, drop, push up, another drop, and it consolidates and moves up all the way towards this kind of high right here, just under it, okay? So Bitcoin in this particular instance could get all the way up into this area right here, around 7,050, 7,100, and then it could still drop down. Okay, if we're again, looking back at that previous fractal that I just showed you. As per the daily chart, all right, yesterday's candle was a decent looking hammer. I probably figure we're gonna just move around sideways here. This is just all gonna be, dojis up and down, and maybe by the weekend time, we might see the real move up or down, okay? But for now, I am bearish on Bitcoin. Like I showed you guys earlier, our community got the short Bitcoin right at 71.65 right there, okay? So we're sitting in a nice, $300 profit so far, looking pretty good. Again, E-mini futures right here look okay. The pre-market right there also looks okay. It looks like it's going to open up positive. So who knows? We might actually see, good upside movement today in the markets. Okay. But again, I'm going to be careful with Bitcoin. I know it's been very choppy lately, and I don't want to take any risks on my profit. So I'll let the Advantage members know in real time exactly what I do. because I put out updates showing them exactly how, I'm going to close out this position. I'm looking to re-enter. I'm looking to go long, short, etc. Okay. And then on top of that, if we look at this COT report, remember COT is a commitment of traders report. This is the CME futures positioning of institutions as well as high net worth individuals in Bitcoin futures. All right. And for the most part, I mean, the one thing that I took away from this is both longs and shorts kind of increase a little bit, but the shorts, I think more so in this particular instance down here in terms of leverage money. So I found that kind of interesting because, for the most part, I think we have a good amount of short positions still in the market. So what that kind of tells me is I still think that there might be the smart money effectively still short on Bitcoin. Okay, that's how I interpret that. But I'll have to go through more of this data to understand, exactly what the positioning is of other players in the market. Remember, it is a guess at best to understand who is positioned where in terms of just CME, and then not understanding where they're hedged. So for example, they could be long here, okay, as per the reportables, right, data, and then they could be short on Deribit or BitMEX. I don't know how they would hedge their positions, right? And you don't know either. I mean, if John Smith wanted to show that he's 100,000 contracts long on the CME futures, but then he hedges with 200,000 on Bitcoin options and Bitcoin perpetual futures on BitMEX, we'd never know, okay? So the fact of the matter is we can only take this data in its purity, in its isolated form. We cannot suspect what they have positioned elsewhere. So that's why all we can do is really look at the price action and this data with a grain of salt, right? Global markets themselves, Asian markets closed pretty decently positive, okay? Even European markets closed positive. So I can see another positive day for Bitcoin, all right? Or I'm sorry, a positive day for the US markets. This was kind of interesting. JP Morgan's profit plummets 69% because of coronavirus, okay? I saw this morning, and what this basically told me was the fact that earnings are coming out soon. I think the banking services earnings are going to get plummeted, okay, obviously. I think a majority of the earnings that are coming out are going to be horrid, all right? And they're probably gonna be bad for the next, at least another quarter or two, all right? So with that, I still do believe that what I've told my Advantage members is I am still personally expecting another leg down in the market. Doesn't mean it has to be today or tomorrow. I just have to see how the rest of this week is gonna go. But going into the next month or two, I'm still expecting a bit more downside. That doesn't mean we're going to see lower lows, but at the very least, I'm expecting a pull down here towards this 2350 support. At the very least, okay. At the very most, I'm seeing the S&P 500 around 17 to 1800 points. Okay, I know that's a long way down, but again, just as per data from previous recessions and bear markets, that's what it should come down to. All right, about 50% drop or so. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Let me see if there's anything to cover. I guess if you start looking at the BitMEX walls, right? The 10 million walls that we used to have, pre-March drop are pretty much not really here anymore. What you see is, these smaller walls built all the way up and down. Let me see. I mean, I don't really see a whole lot going on. There's really no evidence to go off of right now, other than both sides are pretty much stacked. Positioning of different exchanges sometimes gives us an idea, like Bitfinex. Bitfinex has been a pretty big player in this market. Let's check out Bitfinex, right? So let's see. Okay, so Bitfinex, we can see that there's a pretty tightening of movement right here of 300 to 200 Bitcoin sell walls up here versus buys of 350 and 266 below us. So again, like I said, very tightened movement of where we are right now. Both support and resistance are pretty strong. Okay, so we'll see exactly what happens with price action over the coming day or so. Okay. okay? But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up. Go read our Medium article. Go read our trading view analysis. And we'll have this trading view analysis every time I do a public video. All right, and then come join Advantage. Like I said, you get all this information, folks. Forex, options, oil, as well as crypto, as well as equities. For the price of 97 bucks. I mean, you're basically getting every single market that you want to learn about for $97, you know? And like I said, if you treat this as a marathon versus a sprint, you will see the benefits, okay? All right, that's it. Y'all take care, cheers, and have a good rest of the day.